This photo wasn't an accident, but it wasn't exactly planned either. What you're looking at is I don't know what you call it, one of those science experiments that you can do where you basically duct tape two plastic bottles together and you put food coloring in some water and then put water inside the bottles, and you I don't know what, there's a link on the blog, but basically you stand this up on one end, water flows from one bottle into the other bottle below it, and it creates this cool tornado effect. And it's the kind of thing you see at like a science fair or something. We did this with my kids on a snow day when school was closed because of bad weather, and we had these little tornado vortex demonstrations. It was kind of fun. And then the next day, my wife was at work. I was at home with the boys in the evening, and I thought, I could probably get a picture out of that. So once the sun was down, which I think it was in February, so the sun was down by 6:30, 7 o'clock, I turned out a lot of the lights in the kitchen and then set this thing up on the kitchen table, set my camera up on a tripod. I used my 85 millimeter lens, and I took some pictures with what you see here. I just took some pictures of this Tempest in a pop bottle. And I had to go through several versions of this because I didn't know what I was doing. Originally, I lit the thing with a shop light, and it was way too bright, and it just didn't really look that good at all. And you can see an example of that on the blog. Then I tried lighting it with a flashlight, and then I lit it with a flashlight from the side. I tried different shutter speeds, tried different apertures. And out of all the photos I got, this one really hit the sweet spot where you can see these motion trails. Everything is kind of in focus. You don't see much of the bottle, which was a big deal to me. Some of these you can see the date, the expiration date on the bottle. I didn't really want that. I think the top it's got this cool lighting up top, which is from the flashlight. Something just came together about this photo, and also the water drained out. So what I would do is I would swirl the thing, or I would stand this contraption up, start it swirling, and then run over to my camera on the other side of the kitchen table and just hold down the shutter button so it would just fire off several shots all at once as the water drained out. And then I would look at the results and do it again and do it again. All this while I'm trying not to ignore my kids, by the way. And that's one thing, you can't just do this and ignore all your other obligations. So I didn't want to spend all evening doing this. But I thought it was really cool to get this type of shot. I don't know that I'll do it again, maybe, but I did have to get the tripod out. I had to move some stuff around, and I wouldn't say it was a hassle, but it was just a fun experiment to try. And it was an interesting example of the effect that lighting has on a given picture. And this was all about the lighting. The aperture wasn't as important. The shutter speed, I think you could have gone faster or slower. This is 1/10 of a second, but the lighting is what really makes this. And getting that just right was really tricky. And I still don't think I got it just right, per se. I think it'd be fun to try this with a lot of time and a lot of different versions of this, but I don't know that I really want to. I don't know that I care that much. It was fun to take, and kind of an example or an illustration, if you will, of how you can turn everyday objects into interesting photos to take with just a little bit of creativity.